Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with a second update for year of usage. This is a project that I've been doing for the last couple of months and I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely like a background low-key project, and I know it's going to take a very long time to complete. However, it's been very fun to track my shadows. It's been very fun to, you know, reach for more of my single shadows because that's what I'm focusing this project on. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm glad that I introduced it to my channel. So this project was created by Kathrine. I will have her link down below. She recently posted her 2024 finale, and I think she's gonna post her 2025 introduction at some point soon. But I really, again, I'm enjoying this project. It's so much fun. And basically, if you're new to this project, what it entails of is that you take your eyeshadows. In my case, I'm focusing purely on my singles, but you can also do like a whole collection. I know like Gabriella has been focusing on specific palettes, things like that. Kathrine originally focused on her own collection, and your goal is to use every single shadow in there the same amount of times as the year we're in. So that is where year of usage comes in. So this year the goal is 25 uses, and you know, whatever you hit your goal on, it kind of rolls all of the project, and then whatever you don't hit your goal on, you can continue working on that one. And let's say at the end of 2025, the ones that I have not hit my goal on yet, they roll over to 2026. Again, the usage roll over, everything like that. However, the new goal at that point will then be 26 uses rather than 25. So that is the main kind of idea of the project, and again, it's been super fun to track the shadows. I have a very small amount of shadows completed so far, but I will share them all with you and also introduce you to my next Focus 15, which is something that I introduced at the last update. Another little comment to just mention is that Kathrine originally as well in her project said that if you hit pan on something throughout the project, that shadow will automatically roll out. I have not counted that up until this point, but I might introduce it later. But I feel like I do this project mainly for the 25 users and to get use out of my shadows and get to know them. And I don't necessarily want to like hone in and hit pan on my shadows. But we'll see, maybe I'll change my mind later on. But for now, I'm only going to include the ones that I hit my 25 users on. So with that long introduction out of the way, I'm going to jump into the video. But before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. Alright, so let's just recap quickly where I was standing at my last update. I had hit my 25 users goal on 3 shadows, and I was then set at 0.50% of my collection completed. So that is where I was standing at last update. Of course, we do have my Focus 15 that I've been working on, as well as the ones that I have hit my goal on, and all of the eyeshadows that I have hit my goal on in the past month comes from Focus 15. It's not all 15, but I am really happy with the amount of shadows that I have completed a 25 use goal. So let me start off with those. So this right here was my Focus 15. All of the shadows here were in my Focus 15. So we're gonna go through them in order. So the first shadow right here is from Colourpop, and this is the single shadow in Indio, and that is actually one that I have hit my goal on. So that one I actually used 26 times now, so that one is rolling out. I'm moving it down here. Then next to that we have 2 Colourpop singles that has been depotted. We have the shade Shams, which I've used 5 times, so not, you know, that great, but it's still in the project. Ghostin right next to it I have used 13 times, so again it's still in the project. I'm really happy with that progress for now, but no goal complete as of yet. Moving on to the Cliona shadows on next to all of these, we have the first one right there, which is called Translucency, and that one is another one that I actually have hit my use goal on. I can't remember where I was standing at this one. I think I was standing at like 10 uses on this one at the last update, but I have reached for it now 15 additional times, I believe, and I'm now standing at 25 uses, so that is another completed shadow. Moving on, we have some more Cliona shadows right here. The first one I have not hit my goal on, that is Spire. I only used for that one 5 times. Then we have Queen's Banquet. I reached for that one 11 times. Line of Queens I have reached for 10 times in total, so all 3 of those are staying in. However, the last shadow from Cliona we have in the palette right now is this one here, which is the shade Statue Garden, and that one is another one that I have hit my goal on. I actually used this one for manicure, and that's how I got my last uses on it. I count manicures as 5 uses if you didn't know, because I have 5 nails on each hand. And I'm actually setting it at 26 uses on that one too, so I'm just moving it down. So that is the third shadow completed. So those for now are the ones that I hit my usage goal on. Alright, so those were all of the Cleona shadows too. Let's move on to row number 2. First up right here we have a Shine by SD shade. This is the shade Golden Girl. I'm starting at 12 uses for that one. Then next up we have the shade Mystic, which I have used twice, so not too great, but yeah, that's that one there. This one here is from NYX, and that is used a Depotted cream shadow, and I'm happy to say again that I have hit my goal on that one, and I actually have used this one quite a lot now. I am past that 25 uses, but I have hit my goal on it, so that one is also rolling out of the project, so very good. We have 4 completed shades so far. Then the 5th shadow that I actually have hit my goal on is right next to it, which is this one here. This one is from Glam Shop, and it's the shade Piłkarskowy. I think that's how you say it. Obviously it's Polish, so I'm just guessing. I think it's like fairy dust or something, and that's the translation. And that is another one that I have hit my goal on, so we do have 5 shades completed. And again with that one, I think I am well past 25 now. I think I'm standing at like 26, 27 uses, something like that. But yeah, that is another completed shade. The last 3 shades here I have not yet hit my goal on. The first 2 right here are from Sydney Grace. We have the shade Laughter, and then we have the shade Time to Celebrate, and I'm starting at 12 uses on both of those. They're still in the project. And then we have the final shade, which is from Terra Moons, and that is the shade Winter Star, which I'm standing at 10 uses for, so again staying in. So we have 5 additional completed shadows, which are all at the bottom right there, and I'm very, very happy with that. So at last update I was standing at 3 completed shades, and with those 5 we're now standing at 8 shades out of 603, which is still a very minor amount, but at least I'm getting somewhere, and that equals to 1.33% of my collection kind of rolled out of this project. So that is kind of where I'm sitting at the moment. I'm really happy. Of course, you know, I have some shadows that I've used halfway to my goal and things like that, so I think the more we do this project, the more shadows are going to roll out every month, and that's kind of clear to see as well, because this month I had more rollouts than the previous month. So again, really, really happy with that. The next thing to do is to kind of remove the shadows that I want out of my Focus 15 and replace them with some new ones. So let me go ahead and do that. So I have now updated the palette, and these here are the only ones from my Focus 15 that I'm keeping in. So let's go through them. First up we have Line of Queens from Cleona, that one is staying in, as well as Spire from Cleona. So those are both staying in. We have one shade from Shine by SD, which is this one right here called Golden Girl. I'm leaving spaces because I'm going to fill it up with other things. Then moving on to the second row, we have the 2 Sydney Grace shades. I was losing the name there. We have the shade Laughter and Time to Celebrate. And then lastly, we have Terra Moon shadow right here too, called Winter Star. So those are the shades that are staying in, but let me talk you through what is coming into the palette. So the first thing that is coming into the palette is another Cleona shadow, and this is the shade right here. This is one of the glitter multichromes in the shade Opulent. I have this one in a project, and so I'm happy to continue working on this one, and I'm currently standing at 3 uses with this shadow. Then that is actually it from Cleona, so we're moving on to the next brand, which is Shine by SD, and I have 2 more shadows from them rolling in. The first one is this one right here, which is one of the reserved shadows. This here is reserve number 7, which is the yellow tone shadow with like loads of different type of sparkles to it. It's obviously like a multichrome kind of sparkle, so it has loads of shifts to it. But that is the next shadow rolling in, and this one is standing at 8 uses currently. Then I wanted to roll in something from the Earthborn collection, which is in collaboration between Shine by SD and Seeking Shifts, and I decided to go with one of my favorite shades from that collection, and that is Ice Blink, which is an iridescent shade, and it has loads of multicolored sparkles to it. It has both like a blue shift as well as like an orange shift. Super, super stunning, super versatile, so this one I want to roll in too, and with this specific shade I'm starting at 11 uses right now. Then I want to roll in a couple shadows from a brand that I have definitely neglected since I purchased them, and that is Divina. I have 2 shadows from Divina that I want to roll in, and both of them have pretty low usage, but I want to focus on them to try to get up that usage. So the first one is this shadow right here, which is a beautiful kind of bronzy shade that has like a greeny gold shift running through it. It's very unique, even though it's like a neutral shade. And this right here is the shade Sweetie Sunbeam. And with this one, I am standing at 1 use only. So very, very low usage. I'm not expecting to necessarily to hit that 25 use goal in a month, but I'm just kind of getting the momentum going with that shadow. And then even worse than that, we have the second shade from Divina, which is this one right here. This one is the Orion shadow, which is another beautiful shade. It's this like warm kind of grass green almost shadow with, again, like a shift running through it. It's super stunning. It's more of a wearable type of green for me, and I think with March coming up, I think this one would be a good one to roll in. So this one is definitely another one I want to focus on. However, I'm currently standing at 0 uses with this one, so nowhere to start, but I think it's a beautiful shadow and I want to reach for it, so I'm rolling that one in. The next brand we're moving on to is Terra Moons, and I already have one Terra Moon shadow in the palette, but I want to roll in a second. And this is one that I have actually reached for a lot in February already. I think I reached for it all of the uses that I have on this one in February already, and that is the shade Solar Flare, which is a beautiful, beautiful warm pink shade with like a orange fiery shift running through it. And this one I've actually used 7 times in the past month, and I already have a pretty good dip in going in this one too, so maybe I can hit pan on it within the 25 uses. That would be amazing. But I want to keep the momentum going with the shadow, and I think it's such a beautiful one that I want to roll it into. So that is going to be the next shade. So we have 3 more shadows to go in the palette, and the next one is another kind of new brand to this project, and that is JD Glow. I have a couple shadows from them. I think I have 6 shadows, and this one here is the one I want to focus on. This is the shade Peachy Keen, which is like peachy based shadow, but it's almost like an iridescent that has like this beautiful kind of green shift running through it. It's not sparkly, it's very smooth, but it's a very beautiful inner corner shade. So I thought this one would be fun to work on too now in spring. So that's going to be the next one. And unfortunately with this one, I'm also standing at 0 uses. And then the very final brand that we want to talk about today is from Pastel Roses. So the Pastel Roses is another indie brand that I have in my collection, and I have 2 shadows rolling in from them. The first one is actually from my Pana palette, but I want to focus on it because I have a little bit of momentum going with this one, and I want to continue using it too. And that is this shadow right here called Bismuth. And this one has like a blue base, as you might be able to see, but it has loads of multicolored sparkles. When I look at it, I see like a very kind of fiery yellow to green, but when I put it to the camera, it's like pinky purple, and then again that blue shift. So it's a very, very shifty shadow. It has multicolored like flecks in it, so very stunning one. And currently I'm sitting at 8 uses with this one, so I do think it's one that I can hopefully focus on and maybe even hit the 25 uses on if I, you know, combine it on maybe like one manicure and then the rest on my eyes or things like that. We'll see, but I do think I might have hope to use that one 25 times, but we'll see how I get on in the month. And then the very final shadow again comes from the Pastel Roses, like I said, and that is another iridescent shade. I feel like these are good to work on because they're very versatile. And this one here is a beautiful kind of green to pinky purple type of shift, and it's the shade Bombshell. You won't be able to see what it looks like, of course, because yeah, it's just white in the pan, I guess. But this is another one that I think will be versatile. I can top it on other shadows. I can use it in a corner, things like that. And again, unfortunately, I'm starting 0 uses with it, so it's definitely one that I want to focus on and try to get the momentum going. Some of these, again, I'm not expecting to maybe hit my goal on in the next month. I just want to start working on them, and then hopefully, you know, I can roll them out and maybe roll them in later in the year, or I can use them for 2 months straight and then hit my goal on them. So those are actually all of the shadows that are going to be in the project. So this right here will be my new Focus 15. We do have this like rogue shadow, but it's quite large. So this is all of the shadows that I want to work on. Again, some of them I have further kind of I'm close to hit my goal on than others. But we'll see again how I got on. I think this is a really nice color story for spring. We do have some pops of colors, some neutrals for every day. So yeah, I'm excited to work on this palette. But that is kind of my update for year of usage. I feel like I'm getting a good momentum with these updates. I wasn't really sure how I was going to update them initially, but I think doing like a Focus 15 like this is really helping me out, and it's something that I can focus on. I do also have some BYOPs that I do, and I will try to integrate these into my BYOP to help again get more use out of these as well as other shadows. By just having this palette out as well is super duper helpful for me, so I'm glad that I introduced that aspect into this project. But make sure to check out Sarah Kathrine down below. I don't think there's a playlist for people who's doing this project, but I think if I can find other people doing it, I will have them linked down below too. But other than that, I'm going to wrap up the video, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.